It's where all the cool kids go. The friendly info will show you around. We reward him with the fresh souls of our customers. Shadows, t-shirts, branded tees, and so much more. Tags on deck, horror shop you will never want to leave. Your friendly info will show you around. We reward him with the fresh souls of our customers. Candles, t-shirts, branded tees, and so much more. Dads on deck, horror shop you will never want to leave. Watching movies with a dead chick and the gang, funny, strange, hysterical, or just plain bad. This weekend just got amazing. It's a watch-along weekend. Horror and sci-fi, comedy and more. We got it all this weekend. This weekend just got amazing. It's a watch-along weekend. Horror and sci-fi, comedy and more. We got it all this weekend. Howdy, gang. I was almost late to this live stream because I was messing around with making some music or making a song for Lethal Ladies Inc. And some of you that were in here earlier may have heard that start up, and I was like, oops, we don't want that, playing right now because we're getting ready to do a watch along. And I got to change my font again. I don't know why I keep, forgetting to change that. Okay. So if you're in here to watch Tara at Tenkiller and hear me discuss it, you are in the right place, folks. And we are going to be having this watch along momentarily. If you don't own Terror at Tenkiller, you can watch along on YouTube. I have the link there in the chat. If anybody wants to join me live on the stream for this watch along, let me know at any point in time, barring it being a few seconds or so before the movie's over. And I would be glad to have you on here. Also, if anybody comes in later, needs a timestamp, I will be glad to provide that for you, as I'm sure anybody else that's watching along will be glad to do so. I am planning on having a pre-recorded Movie Munchies tomorrow. It will be dropping at some point tomorrow, barring anything happening. I will be making Scooby and Shaggy's Colossal Sandwich paired with Velma's Jinkies Lemonade, also known as Lost My Glasses Lemonade. Like I've said before, this is one to get the kids and the grandkids in on. It's not a gory one. I have not yet done a Scooby-Doo related movie Munchies, and I thought it was about time I did. So be sure to tune in for that whenever that video drops. I've still got to get that Soup and Jallows up. I promise I am going to get that up here sooner rather than later. And I am watching from this is actually a 4K, but I'm watching the Blu-ray disc that came with it. For Terror at Tenkiller. Um, the woman on the the cover looks nothing like either of the women that are in the film, and neither does this woman. Um, but I believe this was the original like poster art for Terror at Tenkiller. So I'll show you that as well. This is the Vinegar Syndrome release that I will be watching tonight. But like I said, if you don't own your own copy, you are welcome to watch along on the HD. I believe that's an HD copy on YouTube at the link in the chat. Um, what else have I got going on here? Well, this coming week, I will not be on vacation. Now, it'll be back to the regularly scheduled program as far as work, but I'm still planning on doing more cannon fodders, more they're all messed up, more Dick's picks. They try to even can't even talk, fit another childhood nightmares in there. I'm going to try to get Steve on here with me. It's not going to be a watch along, but we are going to be discussing Salem's Lot, the original miniseries from the 70s. And I want to get Steve on here to share his memories of watching that for the first time as a wee lad, and it scared him. He thought that the vampires were going to come after him, as I'm sure there were a lot of youngsters that caught that, as well as other vampire movies, even the Dracula movies and stuff like that kind of creeps you out back when you were a kid. So I got a lot of stuff coming up in the next week, and there will also be some more watch alongs, because this is a rescheduled watch along from last weekend, because again, I was in Nashville, got back too late to do the watch along. So that's why we're having one in the in between weeks. Won't be having one tomorrow night, but you got movie munchies coming up, so you can look forward to that. There's also a Friday Foolish up. If you didn't get to catch it live, me and Candace are talking about all the things that we sell and want to be selling, hopefully sooner rather than later at a convention near you, or near most of you, I guess. We're planning on Horror Hound, but Horror Hound has a lot of vendors, and so you have to kind of get on a waiting list for that. So we're hoping, we're keeping our fingers crossed. Okay. And I am coming up with a new theme song for Lethal Ladies Inc. And I think I've got the version picked that I want, but I'm going to run it by Candace to see what she thinks as well. And I guess that is all for announcements, other than be sure to hop on over to deaditesondeck.com. I've got a couple of promotions going on the shop site right now. Tell them Poe sent you. I've got two promotions. One is you can buy one candle and get one free using the promo code CandleCraze25 at checkout. There's a second promotion going on as well. If you spend $30 or more in the shop, you can use the promo code SlasherSpring25 at checkout and get $10 off your order of $30 or more. So that, I wanted to bring that up. Also, Movie Roulette is going to be kicking off here soon. I've got to get the other movie rewatched, which is Signs. That was Menelek's pick. He was gracious enough to give a $7 super chat. And so he got his pick for a movie. Steve also picked a movie for me, A Night to Dismember, which Steve and I recently rewatched. And I hope y'all don't mind me, eating my soup, because I was a little late eating my dinner this evening. Okay. So how do you get in on the movie roulette? So if you give a $5 super chat or more during any live streams, that includes these watch alongs, so you could do this tonight. If you give a $5 super chat or more, you can pick any movie of your choosing. It can even be one I've said I've hated in the past. You give a $5 or more super chat, you could make this gal watch it all over again and review it on an upcoming episode of Movie Roulette. So that's how that works, folks. Okay, so we can all get queued up for those of you that are going to be watching along tonight. I am queued up on my Blu-ray 7 seconds in. I've just got a black screen. So if I'll give everybody a minute or two to get queued up on their respective copies that they're watching. And then after that, we'll get this party started. I'm going to take a couple more bites of my soup here, because generally I run my mouth and don't get to eat my stuff till it's cold. And my sinuses, forgive me if I sneeze or anything like that, they're acting up again. And I've got what, people always used to call a cold in your eye back where I'm from. I don't know if everybody calls it that, but it just, this one eye is just aggravating me to death. So I know there were some of you out there that actually bought this Vinegar Syndrome release. And feel free to watch along on your copy if you've got a copy of it. But I'm going to give it a few more seconds here, and then we're going to go ahead and get started. And I hope those of you that tuned in, either live or on the replay for the debut episode of Childhood Nightmares, where I actually did a watch along for 1982's Don't Go to Sleep. If you didn't get to check that out last night, watch it on the replay. I would love for you to. There have been several of you that have watched it on the replay, and there's your chance to see me discuss a movie that scared the pants off me as a young kid. I didn't actually watch it in 1982. I watched it a little bit later when it was in syndication, replayed on television around 1986 or so. So, all right. So we got 6 or 7 people in here. Let's go ahead and do the countdown, and we'll get this party started. So here we go. 3, 2, 1. Press play, and we're off and running. And the crickets are chirping as far as my subtitles are concerned. This was directed by Ken Meyer. And his son, Kevin Meyer, I believe is his name, will show up in this as the abusive boyfriend of Leslie. Now you're seeing, this is another one of these movies that really doesn't try to keep the killer hidden. You pretty much know who the killer is early on, and you're seeing Denise, poor Denise, just got her throat slit there. And this was a movie that Riff Tracks obtained to do. Any of you that are familiar with Riff Tracks or familiar with Mystery Science Theater, all of that stuff, you know what that entails as far as at Riff Tracks. They basically get on there and talk over the movie and make fun of the movie. And to be totally honest, there's plenty to make fun of with Tara at Tenkiller. So you can see that the killer has taken poor Denise's body out into the middle of the lake, where I assume he's going to dump it. But if you do have this HD version in your possession, one of the things I noticed, and I when I did, excuse me, a review on this release, I talked about it seemed to have, a slightly edited dialogue, like the inflections that people, uh, when they were saying words and stuff like that. It seemed to be a lot better than the original DVD release, which was put out by Cinepops many moons ago. I don't even think Cinepops is around anymore. So you see Kevin Meyer's name there. That's Ken Meyer's son. So we're being introduced to one of the primary players in this movie, or primary characters. That's Leslie. And if you look closely on the wall, you could see Kevin Meyer there. Now we've seen, but you could see his shadow on the wall where he was just standing there waiting for his cue, I guess. So, he's like, hey, babe, we got to talk some things out. You know what I mean? So, this is something that's added, that voiceover. If you are watching the new and improved, hopefully, version, that voiceover of Leslie talking about the most terrifying moment of her life, which we're going to see as the movie progresses. Um, hey, Jack, you say she'll be all right. Just looked and I have the riff tracks. I bet she floats through. Uh, okay, so here's something else that I always thought was weird. If you're watching this and it's uncut and all that, you were seeing some boobage from Miss Leslie there, and she just got scared by her friend. But as you can see, she's taking a shower in her underwear. I've never heard of someone taking a shower in their underwear. Um, so perhaps this actress said, "No way, Jose, I'll show my boobs, but I'm not showing anything else." I mean, I don't know, but I always thought that was weird. Okay, so here is Leslie's college roommate, Jana, who looks, I hate to say this, but looks old enough to me to be Leslie's mom. I mean, like, I don't know. I always laugh about that. And the Roof Tracks guys laughed about it too. I think they said something to the effect of your 40-year-old or middle aged college roommate. Something else, uh, Jack, you're probably right. You say it's because she didn't want to be fully naked in front of the whole crew. And yeah, the shot probably was meant to be cropped, but I always just found that just completely hilarious. I wouldn't want to be completely naked either. Uh, if I had been this actress, and I wouldn't have shown my boobs, I would have had a no boob clause in there. But sometimes actresses don't have a problem with showing, nudity or partial nudity. Jackie said, I think my grandma made a couch out of that dress. Yeah, I mean, wow. Um, but something else I was going to bring up about the character of Jana. Um, this was probably one of those low budget shoots where they ran out of money, had to stop shooting, got a little more money, went back and then shot some more. And you will notice that not only does Jana's hair length change, but apparently, the actress playing Jana got a boob job at some point because you can see that she's got maybe A cup boobs here. Um, they're going to get significantly bigger as the film moves along, and it kind of goes back and forth. They probably film things out of order and things like that. So we're seeing what a jerk uh, Josh is, Leslie's, like I said, abusive boyfriend. So they have a Beatles poster up there, and there's that lovely paneling that anybody that was around in the 70s and into the early 80s remembers that paneling. Hey, the poet, you said the budget $40,000. I didn't even know it was that much. That is a sweet boom box, actually, Jack. I have the air conditioning running back here because it's been rather warm today, but now I'm getting kind of chilly. So permit me to walk over and turn this off. Jack, you say probably a third of that 40,000 probably went towards her boob job. It maybe did. Maybe she had something going on with either Ken Meyer, the director, or Kevin, his son. So Jana's decided that her and Leslie are going to go to Jana's parents, or her, I guess her father's cabin, and they're going to spend a weekend, or actually, I think they're planning on spending the summer there. Jackie saying there's a time to change your clothes. Good question, Jack. Is that the basket from Basket Case? Who knows? Maybe. Maybe they asked Frank Henenlotter for it. I believe Terror at Tenkiller was filmed in Oklahoma. Um, at one time, there were several horror films in pretty close succession to one another that were filmed in Oklahoma. Um, Blood Lake was one. They were usually these, very low budget. Some of them shot on video type of deals. I believe this one was shot on film, though. That's right, Jack. Head out on the highway looking for adventure. And you will hear this song. I think it may be called "Mine All Mine." Um, must have been the only song they had the rights to because it was playing in their dorm room. It's playing in the car. It will be playing over the end credits. I love that. Gore is one way, and then if you turn, you go to Tenkiller. I love that. Gore, Tenkiller. They want to make sure you know to turn there for Lake Tenkiller. I think one of my dogs is dreaming. If y'all hear a sound. So Tenkiller was supposed to be a beautiful Indian maiden. And Jana's also talking about the Cove, which is a restaurant where she's worked since she was a kid, at like basically every summer since she was a kid. Um, and Jana will talk about, well, maybe I can, talk to Charlie, who owns the place, and see if I can get you a job for the summer here too. Like Tenkiller, yeah. Uh, yeah, as long as you don't get killed by that killer from the beginning, you'll be all right. It does look more like a river, doesn't it? Jackie says someone should tell them that someone stole their lake and replaced it with a river. So here we're seeing Tor. And yes, that is his name in the movie, Tor. Just like the uh, Tor books. Does anybody remember those guys and gals that put out a lot of paperback novels back in the day? I don't know what the big deal is with Tor, why all the women are after him, but Leslie seems to have her eye on him. The waitress at the Cove seems to have her eye on him. Yep, good old Charlie. So we see the waitress is going to ask Charlie if she can get off early tonight because she has a date. So Charlie's saying that Jana's been working there every summer since she was 14. And so now they're talking about Denise. And lest we forget, Denise was the one that had her throat slit at the beginning of the film. And apparently she was dating Tor. Um, but have y'all noticed something? Those of you that have been watching it from the beginning, um, have you noticed Tor looks very familiar? Remember how I said that the killer is not really, they don't try to, they don't even attempt to hide who the killer is. So just keep that in mind. Jack, you say Exposition Diner will be right back after these messages. Oh, wow. So apparently, Jana can't wait to get down to the lake. She's already saying, we'll get the rest of the stuff. Which suitcase has your swimsuit in it? That's interesting, Jack. I didn't think about that. You say she looks like a well endowed Shelley Long. Yeah, she does. Come to think of it. That's right. So we already see from that one scene, the scene before to this one, Jenny's hair's grown. And this is where we're going to get the first peek of, there's something going on with Jana's boobage here. Um, how in the heck did they get bigger between one scene and the other? I mean, she's really filled out now. So Jana thinks she saw a real quick glimpse of somebody out the window. I was always more of a one piece bathing suit gal anyway. I never wore two piece bathing suits. Even when I was younger, I didn't wear two piece bathing suits. Um, so the one when Leslie takes that shirt off, she'll have a really pretty pink one piece bathing suit. So Jana's going to go ahead and dive right in. Leslie's not quite ready to get in the water just yet. And there's that pretty pink bathing suit I was talking about. That's the kind of bathing suit I would want. It's pretty and it's one piece and she did get in. And they will show several shots of that fisherman out on the boat. So now Jana's hair's gone back to being shorter and her boobs have gotten smaller. So Leslie wants to hear Jana tell the story about the Indian maiden Tenkiller. Um, so she was supposed to have killed these warriors from another tribe who had attacked her sibling. And so we find out that Jana's father had told her that story one time when they came up to this cabin. That he evidently he was a writer and a teacher, and he would make up stories just for Jana. I never could figure out what Leslie was looking at, and that's another thing that the Riff Tracks guys um, commented on. What the hell is she looking at? And that's what I wonder too. So Jana tells her, see that fisherman out on the lake? That's the most dangerous thing you'll see all summer. So this is the waitress at the diner, and this is evidently the date she had that she had to get off early from work for. And this, if you had any doubts whatsoever about who the killer is, um, you're gonna, it's gonna be in blazing bright light here shortly. Yeah, screw Josh. That's what I say too, Jack. Josh is a douchebag. Oh my gosh, who told her that was a good dress choice? Jack, you say, holy crap, that girl teased her hair so hard it developed an eating disorder. Yeah, this was back in the day when the girls would tease her hair up big like that. So she's evidently, I guess, renting a room or a cottage or something from somebody, and sweet Daisy Lou dress. But there's somebody creeping around. Now, who could it be? Hmm. Of course, she told her date, I'd invite you in, but the folks I'm staying with, they'd have a fit, if they knew I was bringing a guy in. But man, she's got this big old hot tub that she can get in. And that's what you do. You come in from a date. You don't invite your date in for a nightcap. You fix you a cheese plate or a cheese and cracker plate or whatever. And you get your bathing suit on. The bathing suit's better than the dress you had on. Hey, Menelect. And who could it be? Oh, and there's a handy knife there. I think she's got fruit there too, right? Oh, it's Tor. Like we're 28 minutes in, and I don't know about you guys, but I had a pretty good idea who the killer was. Hey, he's gonna get those jeans wet. Um, when they showed, the beginning sequence. But now there's absolutely no doubt at who the killer is. Jackie said that hot tub isn't even on. She's just really gassy. Yeah, she must have some severe gastric problems. Okay, she's toast. A sweet Canadian tuxedo. And then we get treated to a guy, cutting up fish. And so this guy is preacher, and he's a little bit pervy. You might remember Beach Nut, chewing tobacco. I remember it. And we see that Tor works with preachers, helping with the boats and stuff like that. So we find out it's short for Torah. They have this whole conversation about why he's named preacher, and Leslie's like, um, "Why do they call you preacher?" He said, "I guess because my parents named me that." Perfect product placement there with the Coke machine in the background. And then they have this whole conversation about, oh, Tor, are you a mechanic? And he's like, yeah, among other things. It's like, what? The conversations these people have. Hey, Ben, you say, "Hey, Dana, this is one of the few slashers I haven't seen." Yeah, I'll be totally honest, Ben. It's not a very good slasher, but it's entertaining, and that's why I chose it for one of the picks for a watch along. But you guys and gals voted on it, so you voted it in. You made it a reality. So Tor is kind of getting on Preacher, and he said, if you're half as smart as you think you are, you'll stay on your side of the lake, and not go bothering those girls. Time for Tor to go to bed, and watch out for snakes. Yeah, really. Okay, here's something else. Why on earth does Leslie have that get up on? She looks like she should be staying in one of those ritzy houses in the South. Like, who's she trying to look good for, Jana? Yeah, that you're right, Jack. Old Preacher's not really that smart. What I want to know is, why does Leslie keep talking to Josh? I mean, she's under no obligation to talk to him. Yeah, that would have been funny, Jack, if he did call up and said that. Somebody could splice together this scene and a scene from Scream. Jackie said we need Josh for the subplot. Yeah, I think we're gonna kind of work Josh into a subplot, but I've seen so many of these movies like this, and I'm sure you guys and gals have as well, that that Josh is just a red herring, obviously. Even if they didn't show you Tor already killing women. So this time it was Charlie. So Jana's absolutely ecstatic to be going to working for Charlie another summer at the Cove. That's what everybody wants. They want a summer job on their summer vacation. So all of a sudden, Leslie seems really pissed off. No, I don't, and kind of like a little kid. No, I don't want to talk about anything right now. So, guys and gals, I hate to leave in the middle of this, but I always have to and take a bathroom break. So, you guys and gals go ahead and keep watching, and I will return here in just a little bit. All right, gang, I'm back. So we're seeing that Tor is confronting Preacher because Preacher's trying to. Why he thinks he can, I don't know. But he wants to get in these girls' pants. And then why is he pulling this big hulking knife on Tor? I don't know. So he's, saying, who are you, Tor? Are you some rich guy's bastard? Nobody even knows anything about you. You don't want to piss Tor off because, like, but of course, this seems to me, this seems nonsensical. Not that he killed Preacher, but I think it's just for a little extra gore effect so they can have the hand moving as he cuts the arm off. As the only reason I could think that they would even do that. Apparently, because that looks like a foot and part of a leg, that he cut Preacher up and is putting him in the basement. Jackie says he's gonna make a lucky keychain. Maybe. So this version of Tarot Tenkiller has a lot of Leslie voiceover. I mean, and the changes that they made um, seem to make this a slightly, and I say slightly, better movie. So we have another song, Beautiful Dreamer, that keeps playing now. We see Leslie walking out in her fancy nightgown. Jana apparently is somebody that gets enjoyment out of scaring their friend. So there's a strange boat there, and Leslie wants to know whose it is, and Jana's like, it doesn't matter. Let's go inside before the mosquitoes eat us alive. And Leslie goes on to say, I heard a harmonica. So the harmonica is going to come into play a little bit later, too. So something's wrong with Jana's father's boat. So they're going to have Tor look at those hoses. He had told them that they had a couple of worn hoses. Um, so he says that he'll get to it as soon as he can. So they're going to take the car and go over to the cove. There's some old fashioned answer machines. Anybody remember those? I never had one that looked like that because I didn't have one of those, or my parents, I should say, didn't have one in the early days. I wonder if anybody ever tried to call that number. So we see a voice that just says, I'm going to get you. So we have another song called Save It for the Next Fool, which sounds like a country song. And Shaggy said, I'll get it. and you see somebody water skiing. So remember when I mentioned Blood Lake a little bit earlier, which is another low budget horror film that was filmed in Oklahoma. Um, you want to see a whole lot of water skiing? Watch Blood Lake. So the girls are back. So Jana's going to see if they got any messages, and she hears that voice saying, I'm going to get you. Bonzi's going to jump the shark. And Jana's first thought that it's Josh. So, oh, there's Tor. And as I said, this movie's not a very long movie. It's only about an hour and 27 minutes, and we're 48 minutes into the film. So, even though it's low budget and even though it's kind of a bad film, it doesn't move slowly or anything like that. There's just enough stuff to keep you entertained. Okay, I don't know how men got away with wearing their shorts that short back in the day. I know Steve told me he had some short shorts that he wore, but holy cannoli. I mean, it's almost, like a woman wearing a really low cut top without a bra, and you thinking something's going to pop out and say hello. Seems like Tor wants to know too much about Leslie, about her boyfriend, and all that. And then he wants to know, if Josh beats her. I just don't understand guys like that. But I can understand guys that kill women. That's what he should say. So we can see that Jana's kind of coming on to him there. I'd like to get to know you better and all that stuff. Evidently, Jana's been around. She's back to the short hair and the small boobs right now. So Jana's finally going to tell Leslie about the message on the answer machine. And she wants to know, is that Josh's voice? Does Leslie think that's Josh's voice? But you would think Leslie would know her own boyfriend's voice. evidently some hair on the film there because it's just like staying there or a spot or something. And they think that's Preacher out there fishing, but we know otherwise, right? Yeah, you guys think so. Yeah, apparently they must have had a set playlist that they could play. So apparently Leslie's having a dream or nightmare that, remember when she was talking about harmonica, but she's seeing Josh, he's beckoning to her, and he was playing a harmonica. I mean, if this movie got anything going for it, really, it's quite atmospheric in some spots. For instance, here. And she's hearing Josh say, "I'm going to get even with you," um, which is something that he said in real life to Jana. I mean, a lot of this added stuff seems like this is almost a different film now. So all of a sudden, Leslie is changed to Jana, and Leslie's watching Jana get killed in her nightmare by Josh. So we're about to get to the last, what I would say, quarter of the film. Um, the third act, exactly, Jack. So someone was on the phone. Leslie's sure it's Josh. And apparently she's going to call the Cove because uh, Jana must have left out already to go help Charlie out. Okay. Guys, I'm in the dark here. I didn't know what happened. My light went out. Hold on just one second. There we go. I was like, what happened? um, I'm going to have to check and see what's going on with my light here. It just disconnected all of a sudden. There we go. Okay. Well, I may leave that That was kind of freaky. I may go ahead and leave this lamp on, because this light might go out again. Sorry about that. So we're hearing more, of Leslie's voiceover. Like I said, this version of the film has a lot of more exposition, a lot more, I guess, explanation of things. Now, I don't know if necessarily it's needed in a film like this, but like I said, the vocal inflections, if you're listening to the dialogue, I'm not. I've got the subtitles on. But if you are listening to the dialogue on your end, you will see that if you have watched the original version that came out, you will definitely see differences. So Jana's asking her, are you sure it's Josh? And so she's going on to tell Jana about her dream. She said, you were in it and Josh. And she says she doesn't know what it all means, but she feels like she's got to do something about it. Look at the prices there. A hot apple turnover for 60 cents. So there's Tor showing up again. That, that's right, Jack. What job? You haven't done anything. Yeah, we haven't seen them do anything, either one of them. So he's telling Jana he'll get the part for the boat, and he'll be back sometime after 6 or around 6 or whatever. Um, So they finally talked Jane into going back home. And she says, I'm going to have a nap and a swim. I just lost that guy outside. He's just wandering around aimlessly. Or if it's somebody on the film crew or the grips or something, just wandering around out there. So we've got about 22, 23 minutes left of the film. Um, like Jack said, we're getting into the third act of the film, where, in a slasher film, usually things aren't tied up like, a package with a nice, neat little bow. Um, but that's usually where we, we'll have a good chase scene and all of that. So we can hope, can't we? I don't know why he says it that way. Maybe I'll see you later. Like, where's he gonna go? Oh, she's getting her swim in. But it's like it's thundering and it's raining. Why would you get in this lake? Of course, she says, darn, it would rain. So she's fallen asleep. But wait, didn't Tor say he was going to come put that part on the boat? That's a cool shot, though, of the spider web as Tor is apparently backing the boat up and seeing his face through the spider web's pretty cool shot, too. If you haven't watched the Riff Tracks version of this, I would encourage you to because it's really hilarious. I know it's a lot better than my commentary on it. So he says he came over in Preacher's boat and she's expecting him to have the part. And I don't know if it's just because she just woke up or what, but he's been saying for a couple of days now he's going to get that damn part for him. And then he shows up and he still doesn't have the part. I've got to order it. Okay, I think this is cool too because Leslie's reading Stephen King's The Stand. And that is apparently not the uncut version of The Stand, which would come out many years, well, a few years later. And Tor's drinking a Coors and watching Jana wash her hair in the kitchen sink. I've never been able to understand why somebody would wash their hair in the kitchen sink. Because apparently they have a bathroom. And so these are those shots where, she has a little more shampoo um, in her hair between different shots. So there's the harmonica. So we're seeing him unhook the phone. And right about the same time, I guess Leslie is planning on calling Jana. And I'm guessing that she was calling Jana to come pick her up. So she's apparently going to have to make her own way home. How damn much time does it take to wash your freaking hair? She doesn't have that much hair anyway. And so she's thinking she's going to get frisky with Tor here. He's undoing her bathing suit top, but that's not what he's got on his mind. And oh, so Josh, not knowing that, where Leslie is, number one, and, where she's working at, and that she's not at home. That's a bad tour. That's right, Jack. But it seems that Josh has a map there, and he's able to figure out where she's at, or at least the area where she's at. Keep in mind, folks, cigarettes were cheaper back then. You can see that it looked like Josh was smoking quite a few of them. So I don't guess Leslie had far to go to get back. I think she basically had to go over that bridge and go a little bit further. So she's looking for Jana. She's calling out for Jana. Yeah, Jack. It's a treasure map to One Eyed Willie's booty. Yeah, the kids from Goonies are going to show up. And the Fratellis, they're going to show up too. So Leslie's found the harmonica laying on the countertop. She didn't really notice that the phone's unhooked there. Josh is on his way there. She's looking all over for Jana, and she's like, "Are you trying to scare me?" And then, oh no. Oh, look out, Leslie. It's Tor. And she thinks, Tor's there to save the day. She thinks Josh has killed Jana. There's another great shot of that spider web in the rain. Josh has got the same look he had in the other scene. Well, the rain stopped. Messy drawers. Goodness. So she's saying, did you call the sheriff? And he said, no, the line was busy. And she still thinks it's Josh that killed Jana. And she's like, I don't know where this harmonica came from. And he starts to play it. So she asks the proverbial question, and he says, oh, she asked for it. You know she was. She was getting in the way. And he's going into his crazy talk about he'd always wanted her from the first time he saw her. You're the most perfect woman I've ever met. And you need someone like me to protect you. Oh, man. Well, now he's going to be pissed off. Oh, and remember that's where he hid the pieces of Preacher, right? Oh man, Preacher went all to pieces, folks. Poor guy. And we are literally down to the final few moments of the film. This is the big chase scene that always happens at the end of films like this. Ta-da! It's Josh. Josh has arrived finally. But is he going to be able to help? And all of a sudden, Josh is all nicey nice. Jana, Leslie, are you home? No, Leslie's out in the woods and Jana's dead, but you come right in. So now Leslie's looking for Josh. She knows his vehicle. Uh-oh. Tor's there. Oh, there's Josh. There you are, buddy. What's wrong? Oh, no. She's not going to come back to your crazy ass just because you asked her to, Tor. Being as you're a crazy ass Tor, nobody wants you to love them like that. They want you to go away. Yeah. Yeah. Tor with the sleeper hold in the center of the ring. It didn't even look like he did that much, and she's still out like a light. So once again, he's taking the chick out in a boat. So is Leslie going to meet the same fate as poor Denise did at the beginning of the film? Only Denise got her throat slit. He only did the sleeper hold on Leslie. So it could be possible she's still alive, right? Oh, yuck. Jana's dead body's in there too. Okay, sorry I keep yawning. It might be an early night for me. Oh, so they both tumbled out of the boat. Not sure if Tor's a good swimmer or not, but it appears that Leslie is. No, I don't think. Apparently, Tor missed out on swimming lessons as a kid. So she says in the voiceover, being a swimmer saved my life. Jackie said, no, where's the engine girl? And she says, I thank God that Tor's now at the bottom of the lake. And Leslie believes that the Indian maiden pulled Tor down and got revenge for Jana. But now, oh no, see if they had made a Terra Tenkiller 2, then Tor could have returned, right? So that is the conclusion of Terra and Tenkiller. I'll try to stay with you guys and gals, those of you that are left, until the credits complete their role. I hope that you guys and gals that were watching along enjoyed it. I want to thank Jack and the poet and Menelect and Ben, all of you guys for being in here with me tonight in the chat. You're very welcome, Jack. I hope you enjoyed watching this along with me. You've pretty much been in here for the duration. I do appreciate it. I need to get you maybe live on the stream. I mean, you were funny throughout, so I've been wanting to get some, different people, new people to be on these watch alongs with me. So if you ever, want to come on live, I even let people, if you don't have a webcam or don't want to come on camera, you can do audio only. If you would feel more comfortable doing that, or you don't have to at all. It's just, I like to give people the opportunity to do so if they would like to. Um, Help me share the fun of doing these live. So we are at I am at the vinegar syndrome um, logo. Jackie said, noted, I had the notifications on. Great. Yes, and that's a good thing for me to bring up before I get off of here. Yeah, it is a fun movie. It's a bad movie, but it's a fun movie as well. And so I am so glad that you enjoyed it. I hope everybody else enjoyed it. But since Jack brought up notifications, Yeah, definitely go back and watch the Riff Tracks version. Um, Make sure you have notifications turned on. You can like, you can subscribe. All of those things cost you absolutely nothing. And I am now up to 900 subscribers. So thank you for the several people that have subscribed here recently. 100 more, and I'm to 1,000, and we'll be able to be fully monetized. I'm not one to beg for subscribers, but hey, gang, it's free. And if you like the content that I'm putting out, what better way to support me than to get me enough subscribers to be fully monetized? I love doing this content for you guys and gals regardless. But there's another way for free that you can give back and support the channel, right? So, and if I get to 1,000 subscribers, me and Candace have promised to do some cosplay. I'm going to cosplay Cheryl from The Evil Dead. Candace is going to be Mrs. Roper from Three's Company. And we promise you we will do that if I get to 1,000 subscribers. And we're also going to try to get our husbands in on this. We would love Chris to like cosplay Chrissy from Three's Company. And I wish I could get Steve to cosplay Janet from Three's Company. Wouldn't that be awesome? But in any event, me and Candace, I get to 1,000 subscribers, folks. Me and Candace will cosplay. I again will do Cheryl from The Evil Dead. Candace will do Mrs. Roper from Three's Company. So if you want to see that, tell your friends, your family members, anybody you think like this content, encourage them to subscribe, hit the notification bell, hit the like. All of those things are ways that I can get into YouTube's algorithms better and get noticed more. And those are all free, absolutely free ways that you can support the channel and get me moving up in that algorithm scale. So I guess that's it for me. I want to again thank everybody that was in the chat, everybody that was watching it, maybe didn't feel comfortable getting in the chat. I thank you as well. Anybody that will watch this on the replay, I thank you in advance. I'm loving all the support I'm getting for all my many endeavors, including the deaditesondeck.com horror shop at deaditesondeck.com. Be sure to hop on over there for all your horror and non-horror needs because I do custom work. Just fill out the form on the homepage of the site and you can let me know what you would like me to create for you. You have a great night too, Jack. And thanks again so much for hanging out with me tonight. And with all that being said, I'm off like a dirty shirt. This shirt ain't dirty, but I'm off like one. And I want to remind everybody, as I always do before I get off of here for the night, to be kind to one another and blaze that trail. Have a fantastic rest of your Saturday night, folks. And I'll see everybody next time.